As the cost of IT outsourcing is increasing in neighboring markets, Vietnam is now considered a new attractive destination for the sector. According to many experts, Vietnamese IT skills have improved significantly and the language skill is also quite advanced. In our crosstalk this week, let's head to Ho Chi Minh City and talk more about the potential of this business, the human resources needed to prepare to promote more IT outsourcing. Our guest this week is Mr. Nguyễn Việt Hùng, Managing Director of KIMS Technology, a company focusing on IT outsourcing.
Thank you very much for joining these programs of VTV4.
Pleasure.
Yes. Now, Vietnam has been talked among many IT experts to be a destination of IT outsourcing. So how attractive you think the IT outsourcing in Vietnam this year compared to previous years and 10 years ago?
If I have to compare like from last year to this year, then it's hard to tell anything. But then from 10 years, for the 10-year comparison, then I've seen a few things that very special into this outsourcing business. The first thing is that the customer satisfaction has been improved dominantly, significantly in the last 10 years. Usually then we have a lot of issue for delivery in the last 10 years. But now, as in the last 5 years or so, we also have those kind of projects, and then I rarely have to run into the situation where I have issues with deliverable. The second thing I observed in the last 10 years is that the ratio between on-site and offshore is improved. 10 years ago, the ratio can be like 1/10, meaning that if a team with 20 people, then we would need like 2 people on site to do communication and then all kind of like facilitation for the project to be successful. But for now, then with a team of like 60 people, then we only need the same amount of people on site, meaning also 2 people. And in some special case, then we don't need anyone in the US. The account manager can run the project completely from Vietnam with the high quality, with the quality that the US customer are very happy. And the last thing I would see is that the customer, the quality of service is very consistent between now and 10 years before. As I mentioned before, we have to run around to do a lot of hot fix and then to do fighting for our project. But for now, at KMS we have like a lot of quite a lot of like big customer, and then we don't run into the delivery issue. And yearly, then we send out the customer satisfaction to all our clients in the US, and most of them, I can say that more than 90% of them would rate us as like 4+ out of 5 scale. So meaning that we exceed their expectation, and that's what I see in the last 10 years. And I have a lot of positive things to say about this outsourcing business for Vietnam.
Okay. How have other organizations, magazines, or countries ranked Vietnam in terms of IT outsourcing?
Consistently then in the last 10 years, then as you can observe from the consultancy kind of like companies around the world like Gartner or Toland, and they're all great. I mean, they all ranked Vietnam as within the top of like 30 countries for outsourcing kind of destination. And as I remember, then in January, then Gartner also named Vietnam among the top 5 of emerging destination for outsourcing, alongside with India or China. And then that should be a good reason for that. And no doubt that one of the reasons should be the great work, great services that we have delivered as the whole country for the other market.
Can you name to us some of the major countries that are outsourcing here in Vietnam, and what are some of the products or services that are being offered to those companies?
For KMS, then we focus only on US market, which is quite big one market for Vietnam. I think that even for only US market, then it can overwhelm the whole industry here, because we cannot really have enough people to work for that market. For the other company in Vietnam, then I heard about them to service like European market, and then Japan. Japan is also a top name, and then after that it should be like Australia, New Zealand, those areas, and then it come into Asia Pacific, like Singapore and that stuff. A area where there are a lot of work to do in the U.S., especially then recently you can hear about the healthcare reform. That's one of the project that President Obama is working under his time, and then because of that, there are a lot of technology behind the scene that need to be done. So that just gave us a lot of work, and then healthcare is one of the areas that is hot and is require a lot of IT work.
This year has seen huge growth in IT outsourcing in Vietnam. Member companies of the Ho Chi Minh City Computer Association (RHCA) have seen average annual growth rate of 30 to 40%, with some companies witnessing 100% annual growth in terms of revenue. IT products engineered by local companies are also becoming increasingly diverse.
Hiện nay cái mảng gia công phần mềm thì nó rất đa dạng. Hầu như trong hội viên hội tin học thì gần như không có mảng nào không làm. Từ những cái về quản trị doanh nghiệp, về có những đơn vị họ làm về mảng hàng không, mảng xe hơi. Còn trong y tế, giáo dục, nông nghiệp, công nghệ cao đều có tất cả đó cả.
This is an outsourcing company for Market Live, which provides online e-commerce portals for sales. The Vietnamese firms offer support and customer services for the buyers. There are many advantages to having a company in Vietnam taking care part of the post-purchase services.
Mình sẽ làm được cái chuyện là mình muốn cung cấp một dịch vụ 24/7 thì mình sẽ có cái khác biệt về cái mình gọi là time zone đó, cái khoảng thời gian như vậy thì bên đội bên US đó, bên Mỹ thì họ có thể sẽ là hỗ trợ các vấn đề trong vòng 11 tiếng của họ, còn mình thì mình sẽ hỗ trợ trong 13 tiếng còn lại để đảm bảo cái 24 tiếng đó nó luôn luôn được hỗ trợ kịp thời và giải quyết tốt nhất để đảm bảo cho kinh doanh của khách hàng.
Besides traditional IT outsourcing services, this was the first time that KMS were hired to create an entirely new product from A to Z.
Vì đây là một cái product thì nó chưa xuất hiện trên thị trường, thì nó đòi hỏi cái sự thay đổi liên tục trong cái nghiệp vụ. Ví dụ như ngày hôm nay người ta định nghĩa ra cái nghiệp vụ là mình phải làm như thế này, thì chỉ một tuần sau đối thủ cạnh tranh họ đã có thể cung cấp cái nghiệp vụ đó rồi, thì mình lại phải chuyển hướng để mình thay đổi cái nghiệp vụ đó. Thì cái việc thay đổi diễn ra rất là nhanh chóng, thì mình phải quản trị được tất cả những cái thay đổi đó.
Producing a unique and new product of their own is very important for a company. It is a very first step to generating more added value and moving beyond software outsourcing.
What do you think about the IT infrastructures in Vietnam in terms of outsourcing?
It's been quite improved since the last 10 years. Since the time that I joined the workforce, at that time we only had like Yahoo and email, and then Yahoo then is only text, it's not voice. Now we have Skype and everything, and then the internet in Vietnam now can handle all of those things, and then it's improved a lot compared to the last 10 years, I would say. But then we would need more improvement, especially recently. Then you can see a lot of incident with that AAG cable broken down in the sea, and then because outsourcing service, mostly we would serve our clients in the US or in the countries that outside of Vietnam. So internet is just like critical factor for our success. So during the time that AAG got broken, then we got negative impact to our business already, and then that's beyond the hands of KMS. It needs more support and more in the investment from the ISPs company or the government, and then that would be the key thing if the government really want to support this outsourcing industry.
In terms of human resources, what do you think about the skills of the IT labor here in Vietnam with regards to meeting the international standards for outsourcing?
Talking about human resource and the skill level, then I think that software engineering or software development is quite a special area or career where we don't need to invest a lot into infrastructure or stuff to develop the skills. Actually, then we only need the computer and the internet nowadays. Then we can access to a lot of knowledge through the internet. At KMS, then we can turn one fresher, meaning the people just graduate out of the school, into a productive software tester or software programmer in just 2 months. We have a program called training program, which we would bring in the fresher out of the school, and then we offer them the training in 2 months. We even pay them an incentive, and then if they can go through that program and then can graduate in 2 months, then we can turn them into our employees. And then in the last several recruitment day, the success ratio only 30% of the student out of the school. So that 30%, as you can see, is not that much. And I can tell that there are 2 main reasons that they fail at the interview. The first thing is that English. So we're serving the world, we're serving like US market, and then we need English at less than reading and writing. But then those students, then they cannot really be ready at that level. And that is something that both the school and the student can work on themselves. I mean, and that's the first thing. The second thing is that we don't find a lot of fit people. Fit, I mean that people are passionate about software development. So it's really important for people to work in this area, because like if they don't have passion, then it's really hard for them to read and to self-develop them, given the fact that IT is changing quite fast. Technology is changing quite fast, and then the one technology can be dominant today will be obsolete like tomorrow, and then IT people need to be ready for that. And then if they don't have the passion, then it's really hard for them to keep up with the pace. And so those two reasons that mostly people would fail is the English and passion. And then that's the thing that also the school can help with the career counseling or the advisor for them in career selection at the very early stage. If they're not fit for IT, then it doesn't mean that they would fail or whatever. They just have to pick the right career for them.
This is Gwangchung Software City, an ecosystem for IT-related schools, businesses, and organizations, located about 40 minutes from the center of Ho Chi Minh City. The university campus here has many advantages in being able to address the gap in demand between IT skills demanded by companies and course syllabuses.
Ngoài những cái việc mà trao đổi về cái chương trình đào tạo cho sinh viên đi vào thực tiễn, thì chúng tôi còn mời những cái đối tác ở tại khu công viên phần mềm Quang Trung này vào cái công tác giảng dạy. Sinh viên khi mà các bạn học thì các bạn học từ những cái người thực tiễn, thì các bạn sẽ hiểu biết được cái công việc của các bạn làm.
Also located in this IT ecosystem is the Software Business Incubation Center. It is currently offering support to more than 20 IT companies within the center. VMT Solutions is one of the beneficiaries.
Khi mà mình khởi nghiệp thì sẽ gặp nhiều cái vấn đề khó khăn như về vốn, về nhân sự hay là cơ sở vật chất. Thì vào đây thì mình được phía trung tâm đã hỗ trợ rất là nhiều. Ví dụ như là về chính sách cho thuê tiền mặt bằng hàng tháng. Ngoài ra thì còn được hỗ trợ về bàn ghế hay là máy móc thiết bị nếu như mà mình có nhu cầu.
IT and IT outsourcing are key sectors the city wants to focus on. So models such as the Gwangchung Software City are likely to be replicated.
Thành phố đang hỗ trợ cho Quang Trung xây dựng một cái Quang Trung 2 và quy hoạch cho một cái hệ thống Quang Trung 2. Bên cạnh đó thì xây dựng một chương trình gọi là chuỗi Quang Trung trên toàn quốc. Tức là sắp tới sẽ có khoảng 10 cái Quang Trung ở khoảng 10 cái thành phố nữa. Tức là mở cái Quang Trung ra. Vì Quang Trung 1 hiện nay là đã chứng minh được cái thành công của nó rồi.
From university preparation, a specialized incubation center, to a plan of expanding software cities to many localities, Vietnam's IT sector may yet receive the momentum it requires to continue to thrive.
Compared to other countries that are also attractive in terms of outsourcing, like India, China, where does Vietnam stand?
Yeah, it's really hard to compare for anything. I think that each of the country, each of the company would need to know their strengths and weaknesses, and then try to aim for or fight for the niche that they can serve. So for Vietnam, then at least there's one positive thing is that I think the accent, English accent of Vietnam is more understandable compared to the other country. So English is one of the great thing that Vietnamese people that can have that benefit. But then beside that, beyond that English, I think that is the matter about the scale, that we are not ready at the very big one scale. I heard that for one project, not that one project, for one bank, big bank in Europe, then they would need 2,000 software testers just for one bank. And with that type of the customer or the company, then I don't think that Vietnam is at the level that ready to take charge of that. But then people like in India, then they should be better to handle that. People like Cognizant or Wipro, they have like more than 100,000 people, then they can easily handle that. So for Vietnam, where for us in the market, I think that at this moment, then it's more fit to the small size project, the project within the 100 people. Then we can do a great work there at that scale, and we have the focus, and we have the quality, and we have the better price compared to the other country. So if it's more with the matter that if you can find the niche, you know where the market is, then you can serve it very well.
So for Vietnam, the niche market that we're looking for is small and medium size.
Yeah, I would say so, but it can change. It could change in the next 5 to 10 years. And that would be a great challenge for outsourcing company in Vietnam. And then the challenge of the scale impact a lot to the operation of the company, as well as to the labor market of the country as well. The labor market need to be ready to supply a lot more people. Besides the scale challenge, I would say that even if we can be successful at the scale, then we cannot really compete with India and China in terms of scale forever, because they have a lot of more people than us, like billion, and we are here very small. So the next thing I could ask outsourcing vendors in Vietnam is that work on their added value. That's the only thing that we can work in the long term. So added value, and then try to move higher in the value chain. And that's where it's still the same people, but then we can secure a better position in the business.
So far, what are the support policies from the government to promote the development of IT outsourcing here in Vietnam?
In IT sector in general, then the government has a great support. For example, then we got the tax incentive for the first 4 years, that we have zero business income tax in the first 4 years, and then after that, the next 9 years is around 5%, and that should be like 13 years that we got the tax incentive, and that would be great support for us. We enjoy that already. I think that we need more and more of that, because that in order to build a industry like outsourcing, it needs more than 20 years. It needs beyond that, so we need more support than just 10 to 15 years. One example is that India, then it took them like 25 years to take them to the current position. So it's still early for Vietnam as an industry, but then we would need more support on that. The next thing I would seek for support from the government is around the infrastructure, the internet. Then that's something that the government can help in terms of like working with the ISP company so that we can have much better internet bandwidth, more stable.
According to several experts, despite many potential, Vietnam has not been able to establish a center of product development. So how should Vietnam do in the coming time in order to attract more investment in the IT sector?
One of the challenges that the IT company in Vietnam now need to work on in the longer run is that to work on the scale and then to work on the higher value position on the value chain, and then product development is one of the things that is very promising, but then at the same time it's very challenging compared to the other service like outsourcing service. The problem for Vietnam is that we are good at the technical side, meaning that we can take charge of the whole technology life cycle for a product development. But what we miss is the experience in terms of sales, marketing, product management. Those are the things that we need to improve in order to get there, especially then for software product when we're serving the global market, the international market. It's not locally in Vietnam, and that's where we need to improve a lot in terms of understanding the market to produce something that people would buy.
What is your predictions for the growth of outsourcing sectors here in Vietnam?
Once again, I don't have the whole statistic for the whole industry, but then I heard a lot from the other companies about the growth target for the year is about between 20 and 30% a year, and that could be the same at KMS, and we target for that growth. And I could suggest that for the whole industry as well, between the 20% to 30% growth annually, given the fact that the whole side of the market, IT outsourcing market, is around $300 billion US dollars, and then currently, then I think that US market is one of the dominant one, but then for the other market, then it's about the same. Then they would need a lot of work to be done, and then Vietnam can be one of the best choice in terms of like quality and price, and then that's the hope.
Once again, I thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
And that was our talk about IT outsourcing in Vietnam with Mr. Nguyễn Việt Hùng, Managing Director of KMS Technology. Thank you very much for watching. All of our videos are online for you to check out at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. And goodbye for now from Hanoi.